Did you go to Weathersfield High School? If not, where did you go and what was
I
it
went
like?
to Hartford Buckley High.
What was it like?
It was okay. My days was altogether different than what it is today.
Really? How so?
Oh yeah, altogether different.
What customs and trends were common back then that aren't
What
today?
customs? Well, now I'm an Italian.
Italian?
Now, as an Italian, you're asking me what kind of customs do we have? We had everything. We did everything. Christmas, the holidays, the whole 9 yards. There were 8 in my family.
Mhm.
So we had one heck of a time.
Does it seem any different compared to today?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have the family like they used to. Because we were family orientated back in those days. And which you don't have that today. Because now everybody got to go to work and buy a $300,000 home and all of that. So it ain't the same as when I was growing up.
Did you ever leave or want to leave Weathersfield?
Did I ever want to leave Weathersfield? At 89 years old, I'm sorry I'm here because I can't take the cold anymore. I'm getting too old for this cold. I grew up on Franklin Avenue in Hartford.
What was it like growing up in that area?
When I grew up in Hartford on Franklin Avenue, it was beautiful.
Really?
It was fantastic. We used to have the trolley cars come in.
Wow.
In the summertime, there were open trolleys. In the wintertime, there were closed trolleys. They came all the way to Middletown and all the way to Blue Hills. We wanted to go for a ride. We used to hop on that. It cost you a nickel. We used to go for a ride.
That's so cool.
That was beautiful. And then you had Coates Park. We had dancing in Coates Park. Oh, and Franklin Avenue, something was multi-band. Beautiful.
Like in town, were they more friendly than they are today?
What was what?
What were people like in town?
What was the people like in town? How could I say it? I mean, I lived on the South End. There was mostly Irish people living there. I think my family was the only Italians on Franklin Avenue back in those days. Because you got to remember, I was born in 1926. So I'm pretty old. And I left there in the 75. I left Hartford in 75 and moved to Weathersfield.
Do you think the people in Weathersfield are like how they are today? From when you moved here?
People in Weathersfield think they are back 50, 60 years ago, and it isn't. People in Weathersfield. It's not 60 years ago. They got to get their head out of the sand and see what's going on.
What were some traditions that Weathersfield had as a town when you first
What's
moved
that?
here? What were some of the traditions that Weathersfield had as a town when you first moved here?
What's the traditions they have? Well, they have, what do you call it, Memorial Day, they have the parades, and then they have the Civil War. They do all of that. Then they have it down at the Cove. They have all kinds of stuff going on down at the Cove. And in the summertime, they have music in the center of Weathersfield. They have the music there. And in the Christmas time, they put up all the lights and everything, in old Weathersfield. Not this side, in old Weathersfield side.
Okay, so working here at Weathersfield High School, you've seen it all. Was there ever a situation that occurred in our high school that completely took?
Let me tell you, Weathersfield High keeps me alive. When I used to walk the floors as security, and I had back in those days, this is back in the 89, 90s, I had a bunch of kids here that were fantastic. I never had a problem that I couldn't handle then and there. Today, I still don't have a problem. I sit in the cafe every morning. I sit down there with them. I blow the whistle when it's time to leave. No problem. I have no problems with any of my kids. Because people gotta understand they are only kids. And they're growing up. Right now they feel their oats. But as they get older, they'll calm down and they'll realize, hey, this is the real life. This is the real world. It isn't like when I was growing up, you walk out and got a job anywhere you want. It isn't like that anymore. You kids are going to go to college, and you're going to have one heck of a job getting a job because they're not here no more.
I agree. It's different now.
They're not here anymore. They're all shipped overseas and everything else. China, Japan, everywhere but here. But you guys will survive. I don't have to worry. I'm on my way out, so I don't have to worry about that.
How has the student body changed over the years?
How is it what?
How has the student body changed over the years? Like personality
The change in this building?
and like personality wise, like the student body?
Respect, morals, stuff like that.
How is the change?
Just in students' personalities, maybe their
the student's
respect.
personality.
Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
How has
Big
it changed?
Big change. Oh, yeah. Back in my days, you said something to a student, he got a little scared. He was a little worried especially when I spoke. But today, they argue back with you. They're all lawyers.
Lawyers?
Yeah, they're all lawyers. In other words, I didn't do that. What are you blaming me for? Why are you picking on me? Come on. You know. But we have a good time with them.
Any words of wisdom for upcoming teachers and students?
Any word of wisdom?
Any words of wisdom?
Okay, I'll give you some words of wisdom. Pay attention. Go to school. Learn whatever you can learn. Don't sit back and be a dummy. You gotta go to school, get all the education you can, because it's tough out there. And leave the women alone. She smiles.